their skill level rowing the more technical boat.
Yeah.
All right,
and
so we're
over
under
a longer race requiring
we're missing the start of this
greater
next
physical.
race.
But yeah, so left to right as the referee would read 6 boats in this one. In our second heat of the women's Division I varsity fours, going to be Drexel in lane 1, far left of the picture from this trailing stern shot. Lane 2 is Tulsa. Lane 3, Dartmouth. Lane 4, SMU. Lane 5, Boston College. And in lane 6 is High Point University.
Yep, and High Point, again, as we've already mentioned on the program, another one of our really young programs that's just kind of getting established and getting started. They've had a club team for a long time and still do, I learned, but they have actually been elevated and received the support from the school to start supporting rowing, women's rowing, as a varsity sport. So here they are. This is their second season at the Sarasota 2K, and they're hanging in there. Going toe-to-toe with their adversaries from across the race course, right with Drexel. I'd say dead level between High Point and Drexel at the back of the pack, but it is our crews in the middle of the race course. That chevron just starting to form now. Our crews from SMU and Dartmouth, with maybe just Dartmouth getting the edge over the Mustangs now, just maybe a seat or two advantage to the big green. And looks like our positions 3 and 4 also very tight between Boston College and Tulsa.
It looks like Boston College and Tulsa are that battle for 3rd and 4th place right now is pretty dead level, but it's pushing up into potentially SMU. Dartmouth looks like they have about a quarter or a deck or a half a length now over SMU, and so of course the SMU coxswain is going to want to, now that they are what's called bow loaded, they're farther away from the action that's happening behind them, so the rowers are no longer between the coxswain and the finish line. The rowers are now behind, which can make it a little bit more challenging for the coxswain to read what's going on the race course.
To anticipate.
Yeah,
Yes.
and to see what's going on with the blades of the rowers that are in the boat. They can no longer see those to then give a technical cue of what might help them be more efficient. So to that end, that SMU coxswain there isn't necessarily aware of the race that's unraveling between the 2 boats that are going to then push up into them, those 2 boats being Tulsa and Boston College. Boston College to the SMU coxswain to the right. So they're going to want to stay aware of that, see if they can creep back up in there. But, as I've been talking, it seems as though the Dartmouth lead punched out, but then is kind of lingering there. It doesn't look like it's moving a ton over what SMU, the speed of that crew from SMU, and which is a great response from SMU to not let Dartmouth slip away here in the second 500.
No, Dartmouth is a very steady speed crew. We've seen that they kind of get out, they get into a lead, and then they just kind of hold and maintain. And we saw something similar from this SMU program earlier. They just kind of got in there, they dug in, and then they just kind of held very steady, very consistent through the middle of the race. But we're going to need to see from the Mustangs is whether or not they can find that little bit of extra gear to start to back instead of just holding, just focusing on